What it do, what it did, what it does. How y'all doing today? The video today is gonna be a little bit nasty, like it's gonna be some gruesome parts to it. So if you ain't up for nothing gruesome, don't watch the video. If you are, come on along. So we gonna pick up right where we left off. So where we left off was that Adam and Eve had ate that forbidden fruit and they sinned. Now they're gonna have to live harder lives than they were going to originally. So Adam and Eve did not obey God. So they had to go away from the garden, aka the garden got repoed. But they did not forget God, and God did not forget them. And it says that God still loved them. So Adam and Eve, they were working their lives, they were doing everything that they needed to be doing, they were working hard, and then they had two sons. One of the boys' names was Cain. Cain grew up to be a farmer. Oh yeah, and he planted grain in the field. That's what I'm talking about. And the other boy was Abel.
Able to what?
No, his name was Abel. And Abel grew up to be a shepherd, and he took care of the little old sheep. They were the first pair of siblings on earth, and the siblings never fight, so what could possibly go wrong? Adam raised them correctly, alright? Adam taught the boys to give offerings to God. And Abel, who was the shepherd, he wanted to please God, so he gave God his best sheep. And God was happy with Abel. I'm so glad that we do not have to sacrifice animals anymore for God, because I do not think that I have the stomach for that. Right? I'd walk up to the altar and I'd be like, God, this is the sheep I brought you. Alright, but don't get me wrong, I know plenty of people who hunt that they probably still wish that we had to give sacrifices.
Lord, this is the biggest buck that I've ever caught, and I just want to give it as a sacrifice to you. And I can cut his head off and put it on your wall if you want me to.
So Abel gave offerings to God. Very good. Now Cain gave God some grain from his fields, but Cain didn't care if he pleased God. He did not obey God. So God did not accept Cain's offering. And that made Cain angry. Cain didn't even give God his best stuff, but then got mad at God when God got mad at him. What? ¿Qué pasó? That's like not doing your homework, submitting the blank sheet to the teacher, and then the teacher fails you, and you're like,
Oh, what? What is this? You gave Abel an A, what?
So God said to Cain, why are you so angry? I will be happy if you do what is right, but I must punish you if you keep doing wrong. And Cain did not listen to God. Cain must have inherited that selective hearing from Adam. And Cain kept doing wrong. One day, this is where it gets a little ugh. One day, Cain said to Abel, let's go to the field. And Abel went with Cain. And then Cain killed Abel. It was the first murder in the history of Earth. And it was between two siblings. And most people watching this right now won't even be fazed by that, because family murdering family is the plot to every other Netflix series. But Cain killed Abel, and God hopped on that case like he was a detective on the first 48. God said to Cain, where is your brother? Cain goes, how should I know? And God said, I know that you killed your brother, and now you must go away from home, and you will have to move from place to place. And Cain was sad, and God was sad too. We heard that last week when Adam and Eve ate that fruit from the tree. It said that God was sad. And you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, well, all they did was eat some fruit. Cain killed Abel, but God was sad the exact same way in both scenarios. Sin is sin, and it all hurts God and makes him sad. But the good news is that we worship a forgiving and loving God. And that's why in the beginning of this story I said that God still loved Adam and Eve. God still loved Cain too. And the best part about all this is that we make mistakes, but God can forgive us, and then we can change from the mistakes that we made. And this is a verse that we can read to help us. Psalms 51:10 says, God, create a pure heart in me. Give me a new spirit that is faithful to you. No matter what you've done in your past or you're doing right now, God loves you and he can forgive you. And when he forgives us, we must turn from the evil ways that we do and start to live a Christ-like life. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope that you all thoroughly enjoyed this video today. It was a pretty intense story, but the message that comes from the story is so important. Alright, no matter what mistakes that we have made in our lives, God can and he will forgive us and he will continue to love us. And we can turn from those evil ways and live a pure life that will bring us joy and happiness. I hope that I see you guys next week for the next story. Until then, I hope that God blesses you and I love you.